Hello and welcome back to another part of What If Luffy Was Never Born? Or as I always say, we could also call it something else. Maybe the Shadow Saga, the Shadow series, Shadow Piece? Let's call it Shadow Piece or something. But today we're going to start with the third act of the Wano arc. And obviously we're going to split it in multiple parts. I don't know how many it will be because I don't really know. Probably going to be at least 5 or 6 or even more. But for now, let's start with this. And let's look forward to who is going to be the ultimate zombie that the title is talking about. So everything is going to start in this very moment. Orochi and Fukurokujo, they both left for Onigashima. So they left the mainland Wano and took a boat to Onigashima to basically have a festival together with Kaido and the other people over there. Like their version of the fire festival. And this means that Orochi left Kiyoshiro and the Mimawari Gumi, that's their word. These Japanese words are so hard to pronounce. So Kiyoshiro and the Mimawari Gumi are in charge of the capital, which is going to make it's going to make it a bit easier for us, or for Kiyoshiro to be fair, to do a few different things here. This means Kinemon's group reaches Port Tokage, but to their surprise, the port is completely destroyed and their allies are nowhere to be found. Desperate, they obviously still leave the port from there, and just with their small group, with a small boat or whatever is left there, they try to get through the devastating waves and things out there on the sea in front of them. But they question what could happen in a single night to make everything look like this utter wave of destruction. How could they have known this place? They even changed up the secret message and it still looks like this. And then we learn this here. 2 days prior to Kinemon gathering all of his allies, Orochi made an order for all of his people to destroy multiple bridges and roads that connect Wano to the hiding spots of the Alliance's fleet. So to this place and everything surrounding it, which basically means that they learned about this place and made sure that nobody could come there to support the Scabbards. And then there was also Hold'em, who burned down Okobore town, as they are taking the blame for the recent thefts from the farm, because it was probably Kinemon's group or Ashura Doji that stole from the farm to gather ingredients and food for the alliance to be well prepared for the battle. And Okobore town, the people from there took the blame from it, and because of that their town got burned down and they're basically all homeless now. If this raid fails, they're all going to probably die because they don't have any houses to live in, and they already have miserable experiences. They are missing food, now they're missing housing, they're missing water, clean water to drink. And we all know what currently is going on in the manga, and if they succeed, they're going to die from Onigashima in the end. So here we are. Momonosuke hears these news and asks the Scabbard what he would do without them. He feels useless. If he was alone, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He's just some weak little boy without any sort of power, so how is he supposed to work this out? And then the Scabbards, or Kinemon to precise, they tell him that even Oden started out alone. He started out alone before finding and inspiring the Scabbards to finally become samurai, and together they then made all the way through the different things, with Oden meeting up with Whitebeard, with joining Goldie Roger, and then becoming Shogun in some way, or not Shogun because he was left and Orochi came there. Everything of the flashback happens here. This is the start of the Oden flashback, but I don't have to talk about the Oden flashback, because obviously nothing from that flashback changed for us, because it's in the past. We didn't change anything from the past. So the Scabbards left and Momonosuke stayed behind with Shinobu. Now they are talking about the unavoidable conclusion. All of them have thought about this. There has to be an imposter or a traitor amongst them. So among us there is an imposter. And well, boom babam, to a surprise, it's Kanjuro. We all know it from the anime and manga already, so obviously I didn't change this. He's still the imposter here and we learn this right now. So basically he learns this, and Kanjuro reveals his connection to Orochi, that he's also a member of the Kurozomi family, that even though he never had anything especially against the Scabbards or against Odin, he just was more loyal for Orochi, and thus like betrayed them in the end, or worked for Orochi all the time, giving him all of the information, making all of these different things, and just being an idiot. So this is the point where Kinemon wants to slash Kanjuro and basically kill him. He cuts through this body, but it then gets revealed that it's only a drawing. And this is also where we learn that Kanjuro was drawing bad on purpose. Like, I think his drawing bad on purpose was the thing that he drew always with his right hand, but he's a left-handed person or something like that, or the other way around. But like, he was always trolling and never serious, and that's also a problem. Like, he made it harder for everyone out there. So here we are, out of the mist. Not the Blackbeard Pirates, they're not here. They are not here. No Blackbeard Pirates. I am using the Time Devil Fruit to go back a few seconds here. It's the Beast Pirates who come out of the mist, and they appear here to plan to sink the Scabbard's ship and basically stop this rebellion. And I feel like some of the Scabbards, even though they want to still have hope and everything, the message said to come here, but nobody has the possibility to get to their ships and everything, with the bridges destroyed, with the roads destroyed and everything. Momonosuke is back there and we need to do something for him. Kanjuro just betrayed us. All of the information on the tactics, the plans that we gathered and made, they all already went into the ears of Orochi and thus also into Kaido. So they know what's going to happen. They know what's going on here. So they obviously lose a bit of hope, but then something else appears out of the ship, out of the mist. Another ship. First, we see the Victoria Punk, which is the Kid Pirate's ship. So Kid and all of his people appear. Followed by the Polar Tongue, which is the submarine from Law's group. And then finally, the small version of the Thriller Bark ship, which is like this escapee ship that they used in multiple occasions in the anime. They used it when they got some people from the location where the Kid Alliance was back during the Dressrosa arc or so, I think. And then they also used this ship for when some people already went to Wano and some other people went to Whole Cake Island. They used the small ship that they have. So these three ships appear here, and basically this is just they come to the rescue. And a sea battle befitting for pirates is going to start here. This means Moria, Law, and Kid are destroying Beast Pirate ships like left and right until Denjiro appears. And Denjiro, first it's going to be like the Scabbards and Moria, Law, and the others, like Kid and all the other people there, they think like, oh, they got reinforcement again, whatever are we going to do? But then Denjiro, or Kyoshiro, whatever you want to call him here at this point, I'm even confused myself, he reveals that he's the last of the missing Scabbards, and he's finally here to join up with all of the other people. He also reveals Kinemon's 5D chess plan with the hidden message, outplaying even Kanjuro. Because these two, letters that they added didn't mean that the snake got turned into a lizard. It meant, it was some sort of kanji wordplay. It wasn't like lizard, but it was something about warped or something. So it's basically just some Japanese wordplay that obviously we didn't get, but the Kinemon people and Denjiro understood that, and Kinemon is just a genius, we all know that. So basically that's what's going on here. And this means Denjiro has brought 1,000 samurais of Wano that were imprisoned in the Rasetsu prison and 200 of his own men to join up with the alliance. And this increases our power from 5,800 people to 7,000 people. That means the Ninja, Pirate, Mink, Samurai alliance is now at 7,000 versus the Beast Pirates who are at 30,000. It's still less than Kaido, but we all know it's better than the scenario was for Luffy in this case, because Luffy's people only had 5,400 at this point, so we're still 1,600 more people here. So everything is fine for us. We are winning against the Beast Pirates in this part. With the entire raid force present, Kinemon rallies his allies once more. He stands on his small boat, raising his sword, and shouts to all of them. You are the samurai of Wano, and together we will free our people. We will defeat the Beast Pirates once and for all, making sure that our children, your wives, everybody will survive and no longer will suffer under Kaido and Orochi. So, shocked by the scenario, like that everybody is still here, and there was this whole thing with the hidden message, Kanjuro wants to take Momonosuke, who he has for some reason. Maybe the Shinobu was never the real Shinobu, but also a drawing, and that's how he got Momonosuke. I don't know, I might be missing something here, but he has Momonosuke anyways, and he wants to head to Onigashima. So, before he can head off to Onigashima, he gets confronted by Kawamatsu, because Kawamatsu is a fishman, so he can just get through the ocean and swim there and attack Kanjuro. It's like a small clash between their blades. They clear together and just make some noise. Everybody watches them in awe of the power of the two like scabbards fighting against each other. When Kanjuro basically goes close to Kawamatsu's face and whispers inside his ear, "I know where Hiyori lives. I know that Hiyori is still alive." And that just shocks our boy Kawamatsu and gives Kanjuro the opportunity to like knock him down with his feet and knock him back into the water. And just these few seconds give him enough time to draw a very beautiful drawn crane, and then with that he flies away from all of the people. He just flies away together with Momonosuke. This is also a point where Perona and Absalom want to save Momo, but Momo shouts to them and says like, "No, don't rescue me! Continue to Onigashima! We will meet there again!" And he's the man here. He has grown so much over this arc, be it in canon version or in this version. He has become from a spoiled little brat to a leader. And he knows that if they come here now, they might mess up something and some people might already be lost against Kanjuro and everything here. But he knows, even if he gets taken to Onigashima right now, all of the other people will come and join him very shortly after. So he doesn't have to be scared of that. So in the air, Kanjuro attacks the alliance with ink arrows, because that's also something his devil fruit can do. It has a lot of versatility. So with that, he allows other beast pirate ships to distance themselves a bit from the alliance. With this distance, they then can continue to shoot with their cannons from a longer range, which is a bit harder for a Kid, Law and others to attack them, because all of their attacks with the Room, with the Punk Rotten and the different abilities from his Magnet Fruit, and even Moriya's like Shadow Jotun's Fist or other like long range shadow abilities like his Brick Bats, they can't attack them from this long of a range. It's like medium range is their limit, and they can't go to long range where the enemies are with the cannons right now. So the barrage of these cannonballs basically destroys several of the Alliance's ships. So many samurai fall into the water, and they just into this chaotic ocean. Like you see this ocean in this picture. The waves are going crazy left and right, and even the ships have problems like staying still at one place. So if people fall into this, even though they are still close to the shore, the ocean is wild and pushes them around from left to right, and then making them like drown and like go below the water, slowly going up again, and like everything just being forced in every sort of direction, like not being able to move. And that is until they hear a sound. It's like a ba-bum, ba-bum, a cluck, cluck, a boom. Just some sound effects which they know from festivals that they have like been before in Wano. And they're just like, where's this sound coming from? And then a giant shadow appears. A giant shadow appears from behind. On top of this giant shadow, there are 3 more shadows. A small one on top of the head of the giant shadow, playing drums, making these noises of like the taiko drum. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. And then on his shoulder, like on his right shoulder, there are 2 more shadows. One is like a medium-sized shadow. If I had to compare something, the size is similar to Luffy's. And next to the medium-sized one, there's a bigger shadow. But obviously not as big as this giant shadow. So these 3 shadows are there. And this is where we notice when he reveals himself to be Ors. But it's not only Ors. Ors is walking on 30-meter high stilts because he doesn't want to drown. Ors is still 60 meters high. But the ocean is still pretty deep. So he has 30-meter high like wooden stilts to walk better through the ocean, and like he has these people here on him. And then he catches the people from this ocean, the samurai up there, and basically just makes sure that they don't drown and puts them back onto the ships. So he's there on his stilts, just walking around slowly through the ocean until he joins up with Moriya and other people. This is basically my equivalent of Jinbei joining up with the crew, because we have new crew members here. Or like, in our case, it's crew members they haven't revealed to you yet. So here we are, and basically Oars puts the samurai on different ships, making sure that they don't drown, until he himself like climbs on top of the thriller bark escapee ship. And then he says something to Moria. Captain, I am here and ready to show you a giant's pride. He's prepared. He has his 30-meter high stilts. He doesn't want to walk through the ocean because it's probably going to get deeper and deeper, and even with that he can't walk through some sort of ocean. But he has them, maybe he can use them as weapons in the future. I think Hyrodin is a fist fighter, so Ors is going to fight with the same fist style. I mean, he has the... what's the name? There was the spear attack from Hyrodin, which is also going to be used by Ors probably in the future. So this is all going on, and Ors talks with his captain, being sure that he wants to show the pride of a giant, or the pride of an ancient giant in this case, because this place has other ancient giants. They have the fake ancient giants known as the Numbers. So Ors is like, he feels like something from this place, in my opinion. And the head from Onigashima is so much bigger than like Ors's head. So is this like still an ancient giant, or is this some other monster here? So Ors originally also came from Wano, so he has some connection, or at least he died in Wano, so he has some connection to this place, and maybe he feels something with this skull, and I don't know what he might feel from that. And then the other people jump from Ors' body. One large Manix, one of them, just like the medium-sized one, jumps down, looks around a bit, and like he hunches over a bit, like his knees are like bent slightly, and he just walks over to Moria and laughs like, I can't make this laugh, but he laughs menacingly, if you can imagine that. And he just looks down and says like, first he says something like, finally I can take down Kaido for what he did to Odin, or at least this is what his body wants to do. I feel somewhat conflicted about this. So, and this is the first one. He's there and he wants to take down Kaido for what he did with Odin. So the body wants to take down all of this and make sure that the people of Wano are going to be rescued and everybody can live a safe life. But his shadow, he doesn't know. This doesn't feel right. Like, the shadow is obviously going to like hear and do everything what Moria wants to do. But the shadow is... I don't know if you already know who like the shadow is inside of this person, but this person, he kind of belonged on Kaido's side. So this is the first one, and then the bigger one of the two stands there, slightly shorter than Moria if you have to have a size comparison. So Moria is around 7 meters, like 690 centimeters tall, and this person is slightly shorter than Moria. So he stands there, looks at him, and like he has an aura of experience around him, but he also respects Moria for some stuff that he already did. So he looks at him and talks like with a deep voice. It's a deep voice, a deep rough voice. I couldn't do this when I was alive, so I can forgive you for taking this body. However, don't expect this to be an easy raid. Now, where are my donuts? And he walks away looking for his donuts. So, you probably know what shadow is inside of this body, but you don't know what this body is. This is my way of teasing you. So, here we are, the people from outside of Wano. So, all of the pirates who are there, besides Law and Moria, because they know who these two people are, they are filled with all kinds of emotions after seeing these two people. Especially after seeing the bigger of the two, new shadows here. And they just have an increase in confidence for this raid, because if those people are on their side, even the Yonko Kaido might have some problems. And then we see Law and Moria, who knew of the existence of these zombies, because the smaller one is called the Commander Zombie, and the bigger one is called the Kaiser Zombie, the strongest and the ultimate zombie ever created. So the leaders then join all together on like one singular ship to talk about the different things, to form a plan for the attack. And Law basically suggests like splitting into 4 different groups. One for a frontal attack, 2 flanking attacks, and like from each side, from left and right, and then 1 attack from behind where the submarine is going to go below Onigashima and get them from like the backside. But we all know Luffy was here and wouldn't listen, and basically together with Kid he would just rush in a frontal attack, and they already planned that, so Kid and Luffy would be the frontal attack. In this version, the Strawhat Pirates and the Kid Pirates still form the frontal attack group. But Law's reasoning is that Moria's arrival together with all of these zombies would create the biggest chaos on the island, making it easier for the other people to stay in formation and basically make their flanks possible and their back attack possible. This is the point where Kinemon and Denjiro say they would lead both, each of them would lead a group for the side attacks, and the rest of the Scabbers would join with Law, go in the submarine, and go from the backside. To everyone's surprise, however, the Kid Pirates already rushed inside, they already rushed ahead, and are fighting against some of the Kaido's guards. They heard explosions going off, and that's when they noticed, yeah, that's to be expected. So because of that, Moria has to follow fast now and catch up with the people from Kid's crew and make sure that everything goes on. So this is the start of the raid. Meanwhile, on Onigashima, the festival of the Beast Pirates had already started. Orochi, Queen, Kaido, and Big Mom celebrated the arrival of the Tobiroppo, and this is going to be the start of everything. I don't know why King isn't celebrating with them, but King is not the person to party, so he's probably just flying around somewhere or just chilling in some sort of space and just doing his own thing. And this was the start of the war that would change and decide the future of this island. No, not this island, of the entire world. And I can also tell you, no one could have expected how this scenario would shape the upcoming era. And here, I'm going to say it's to be continued and the end of the first part of the third act. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you can guess who the two new zombies are that got added here. And if you remember the shadows that we got from different places, I mean, two of the shadows are still unused and they are from very strong people, and you probably know who they are. So type it in the comments if you know. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if that's all from me for today. I hope all of you are going to have a nice week, until Thursday when I come to annoy you again with some new video, and just stay healthy, stay cultured, and most importantly, stay hot. This has been Pyro Prima, and thank you for watching. Bye!